Can I get a 1 in chat if you want to die for Israel? Guys ready? No? Wait, people are saying no? What are you, anti-Semitic? What the hell's wrong with you?
All about Rwanda and the Congo. Will be doing a peace settlement, probably coming in on Monday or Tuesday. We're going to be signing it up, and we've stopped a very vicious war. So that was an honor for me to be involved. I want to thank J.D. Vance for great job, and also
good job.
Our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has done a fantastic job. So Rwanda, long-term war with the Congo, a very bloody war. They're all bloody, but this was a real...
I got to appreciate Trump taking a little bit of time to think about the people in Africa, bro. Like, they got a bunch of bad shit going on over there. And I feel like just because, like, we're not as involved with them financially, it's like nobody even pays attention to them at all. Yeah, it's really fucking bad. They got the worst. I hear that. I don't know that. I hear that, though.
A bloody one is going to be making peace with Congo, and they can get on to making trade deals with the United States and other places.
Nice.
And have a much more normal form of life. We're very honored by that.
I really hope that more people talk about this, because if this actually comes through, this means that they actually did stop. Like, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are calling what's happening over there a genocide, right? Like, it's not like this is some kind of, like, crazy extreme usage of the word. I feel like a lot of people, this is like an established reality that people are living in, yeah. It's a drone buzzing? Yeah, it is.
As you know, we did a very great job with India and Pakistan. And we had India in. It looks like we're going to be making a trade deal with India.
Right.
And we had Pakistan in. It looks like we're going to be making a trade deal with Pakistan. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. Serbia, Kosovo, likewise, they've been fighting for years, and as you know, we brought that one to a conclusion. And now we have a couple of big ones. We have Russia.
Pakistan nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize? Bullshit. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Pakistan's Asim Munir recommends Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize? What? Oh my God. Art of the deal. For the latter's alleged role in preventing a nuclear war between India and Pakistan last month. So this is the Pakistan art. Maybe Pakistan isn't so bad after all. Hey, maybe these are our boys, right? Damn, so finally they're playing ball. Okay. What timeline is this? I don't know. How is this happening? How is this even real?
Ukraine, which is making a little bit of progress. And we have Israel, and nobody really knows what that one is all about. We're going to find out pretty soon.
Nobody knows.
Mr. President, the Iranian foreign minister this afternoon said if the U.S. is serious about negotiations, that you would call up Israel and request that they stop their airstrikes. Will you make that request?
Well, I think it's very hard to make that request right now. If somebody's winning, it's a little bit harder to do than if somebody's losing. But we're ready.
Yeah, he's right.
Willing and able, and we've been speaking to Iran, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
That's not the leader of Pakistan, just a general who said he should get it? Yeah, but that's good, bro. Like, that's good. Because as soon as one of them say it, then it gets normalized, right? Obama got one without bringing any peace, so why not? If Trump gets a Nobel... I actually think that if Trump could somehow, like, solve this, like, Iran problem, I think that is a Nobel Peace Prize level thing. Because this has been an issue for, like, almost 50 years. I mean, anybody who solves that problem, I think, like, yeah, like, not even just Trump, just anybody.
Just a time to see whether or not people come to their senses.
Did the Europeans help at all in talking with the Iranians?
No, they didn't help. No. Iran doesn't want to.
Fuck the Europeans. Okay, great.
Speak to Europe. They want to speak to us. Europe is not going to be able to help in this one.
20 years ago, you were skeptical of a Republican administration that attacked a Middle East country on the idea of questionable intelligence of weapons of mass destruction. How is this moment different with Iran?
Great question. Great question to directly ask The man himself. Great question.
Well, there were no weapons of mass destruction. I never thought there were. And that was somewhat pre-nuclear. You know, there was a nuclear age, but nothing like it is today. And it looked like I'm right about the material that they've gathered already. It's a tremendous amount of material. And I think within a matter of weeks, or certainly within a matter of months, they're going to be able to have a nuclear weapon. We can't let that happen. I was very much opposed to Iraq. I said it loud and clear, but I was a civilian, but I guess I got a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
But I was very much opposed to the Iraq war. And I actually did say, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in. But I said, if you're going to go in, keep the oil. But they didn't do that.
What intelligence do you have that Iran is...
So basically, it was different than now I'm right. And everybody was talking about me back then. Okay.
Building a nuclear weapon. Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Your director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
It doesn't sound good. Who said that? The director.
She's wrong.
Mr. President, Chinese in any way helping Iran at this moment, clearing reports of serious planes landing in Iran from China?
They say that they're there to take people out, but I can't tell you about that. I get along very well with China, get along very well with President Xi. I like him, he likes me. We have a very good relationship. We'll see what happens. I can't imagine them getting involved.
Is the decision that you need to make on Iran, whether to strike militarily, is this the biggest decision you'll have to make as president?
I think it will be. I do. Unless something crazy happens, I think this will probably be potentially the biggest thing.
Well, I can't tell you that. I have to see what happens. I can't, really say that. It depends what the decision is.
No way to know, of course.
But I wouldn't really be able to tell you that now. I'll tell you in about a year from now, maybe 5 years or 10 years from now. You never know about decisions.
That'll be all the way in his fourth term, though. I mean, what if something else happens by then?
You never really know.
Well, that'd be fifth term, actually.
I might, depending on the circumstances.
Would you?
That's not gonna be for a while.
It's very hard to stop. I will say this. It's very hard to stop when you look at it.
Yeah.
Israel's doing well in terms of war, and I think you would say that Iran is doing less well. It's a little bit hard to get somebody to stop.
Yeah, I think that Iran's just trying to broker for peace so they can recover and recuperate from the attacks from Israel. And they're doing it as a strategic military advantage and not in good faith in order to negotiate. Because if they were willing to negotiate in good faith, it would have happened in the first 60 days that they had open for negotiations. I mean, like, really, like, they're delay tactics, exactly.
Former Congressman Matt Gaetz threw out an interesting idea suggesting that if you were to broker a deal where nuclear inspectors go into both Israel and Iran, that you...
I love that. That's a two birds, one stone situation.
Could win a Nobel Peace Prize, and they might even rename it the Trump Peace Prize. Did you hear those? What do you think?
That reporter is smart. Bro, they're playing into his ego. They're going to rename the Nobel Peace Prize into the Trump Peace Prize if you do this. Are you going to do this? Look at his face, bro. Damn.
Well, they should give me the Nobel Prize for Rwanda, and if you look, the Congo, or you could say Serbia, Kosovo, you could say a lot of them. You could say, the big one is India and Pakistan. I should have gotten it 4 or 5 times. I should get it for the,
This guy is just... Bro, can you believe that we have 3.5 more years of this? And that's worst case scenario. That's if he doesn't run a third time. I think that if Trump, by the end of his term, I really mean this, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, but I really mean this. I think that if he locks down the war in Ukraine and Russia, and that's over. Iran doesn't have nukes. The Middle East is relatively peaceful. And there are no other ongoing issues. And, like, you know, he sets down a couple of these fuck-around situations in Africa and Gaza. I actually think that people would vote for him, and he would have a serious chance of winning a third term. I'm not kidding.
I think the Abraham Accords...
Fourth term? I heard about that. Yeah, the special prosecutor for the 2020 election. Good point. Not the Constitution allows it? Well, you know, I mean, that's just... I mean, that's like one... I mean, okay, yeah, that's true, but, you know, and we'll see what happens.
Good one, too. Well, they won't give me a Nobel Peace Prize because they only give it to liberals.
Would you support Iran?
And after Obama, are you really going to say that's not at least kind of true?
Being able to have nuclear, or would you support Iran being able to have civilian nuclear energy capabilities up to 3.76%?
You know, they're sitting on the top of one of the largest piles of oil in the world. I just don't know why they need that for civilian work. You know, it's one thing for certain countries to say, hey, I want to have a certain amount where I can go nuclear a little bit because we need it for electricity, we need it for air conditioners, etc.
I think that there's a world where if Iran goes through a genuine regime change that is functional, and this is, again, like we're talking about 1% of 1%, like if we have a good relationship with Iran, the same as we have with Saudi Arabia, I don't think anybody would really have a problem with them having 3.5% uranium, right? I think that's reasonable and it's okay. The problem is that it's not even that they have it, it's that they're liars and they're proven liars with a history of lying. That's the issue.
But when you're sitting on one of the largest oil piles anywhere in the world, it's a little bit hard to see why you need that. Yeah.
Are you concerned that Iran or its proxies would wage terror attacks against American targets abroad if you order military action?
We're always concerned about that.
That's a good question. I mean, it's going to be hard for Iran to... I mean, like, dude, isn't Iran trying to get that? Like, why would these terrorist groups even do that? They're not even helping Iran against Israel. You think they're going to go and attack the United States? I mean, maybe it would happen, but I don't know. I feel like they roached out on them.
You have to take them out and be very strong. You're even in danger talking to me right now. Do you know that? You are in danger talking to me right now. So I should probably get out of here, but you guys are actually in danger. Can you believe it?
One more. Is it still your expectation that NATO countries spend 5% of their GDP on defense spending?
Well, I think they should do that.
I gotta say that, like, these questions are so good. Yeah, these are really good questions. I'm surprised. It's like so much different than like that thing earlier. Yeah, they're asking the actual things that people want to know the answer for.
I don't think we should, but I think they should. We've been supporting NATO so long. In many cases,
True.
I believe paying almost 100% the cost. So I don't think we should, but I think that the NATO countries should, absolutely.
What, like Spain decides not to?
Well, NATO's going to have to deal with Spain. Spain's been a very low payer. They were always a very low payer. They were either good negotiators or they weren't doing the right thing.
Just pay the fucking money.
Spain has to pay what everybody else has to pay. Spain has been notorious for low pay. You know who else was a low payer, just about the lowest? A place called Canada. Because Canada said, why should we pay when the United States will protect us free?
That's the Golden Dome. So Trump is going to try to charge them for the Golden Dome and then force them into coming into the United States.
Right about that.
ICE.
It's the grand plan. I wonder if we're gonna get Cuba too.
You've been making progress.
We're gonna capture them.
Deal, but I don't know if you know this, but Lindsey Graham and Mike Pompeo were there on the ground in Ukraine, seemingly doing the opposite, trying to provoke the Ukrainians to keep fighting. What do you think of that?
Well, we're going to see, and people have to be very careful with what they say. They got to be very careful with their mouth, because their mouth can get them into a lot of trouble.
Yep.
One more. ICE. ICE has said that they're trying to arrest up to 3,000 individuals a day. There are some communities that are saying they are fearful.
That's pretty good. 3,000 a day. I'd be happy with that. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Of being wrongfully detained or separating some families, even if they're undocumented, is the fear in some of these communities worth the deportations of these undocumented individuals, a mass deportation program?
It's a tough subject because, look, we have farmers. I love farmers. I won 80%, 85% of the farmers, and I love them, and I'm never going to do anything to hurt our farmers. And you could also say the leisure business, etc. There are some businesses where you have a disproportionate amount of people that are the people that you're talking about. At the same time, we have to get the criminals out of our country.
Yep.
And we're looking at doing something where, in the case of good, reputable farmers, they can take responsibility for the people that they hire and let them have responsibility, because we can't put the farms out of
business.
it.
They have to be fucking documented. You have to have a work visa. And that way you're not paying them peanuts and then disenfranchising Americans and having a competitive advantage that's built off of an illegal action. Like, that's the issue. I don't think anybody has a problem with work visas. Nobody has a problem with that. People do have a problem with intentional illegal aliens coming into the country, working under the table, and then companies taking advantage over it. That's the problem. That's the issue. It's not that there's people here that aren't citizens. It's that they're doing it illegally. They're taking advantage of them. Yes, exactly. Like, it's such a simple concept. Expand the work visa program, have the people self-deport, and then they can come back and apply for it to the farms that they worked at. And I bet the reason why the farmers probably don't want that is because the farmers are benefiting from paying them lower wages. That's what I think.
At the same time, we don't want to.
That's where I'm at.
Hurt people that aren't criminals. Most of the people that came in over the last 3 years under Biden, I would say probably 3.5 to 4 years. Those people, you have a lot of criminals. You have a lot of. I mean, we're looking at that very closely. You've had people that have worked on farms for 20 years. It's very.
Somebody says thoughts on visas that are exempt from minimum wage. Nope. You didn't hear a main point. He's talking about responsibility of farmers for their workers. Well, and I also think that and this is the other thing, is that, like, I know that Trump doesn't want to do this, but, like, I think he has to do this, like, because if you don't hold employers accountable for intentionally hiring illegal aliens, all you're doing is resetting the problem. Like, best case scenario is you're resetting the problem to happen again.
Hard to go in there and say, you're coming out. But we're going to let the farmers take responsibility. They're great people. I feel
like the farmers and the Americans that are taking advantage of the labor, I view them as the actual real enemies, not the illegal aliens. I mean, outside of obviously the criminals. The illegal aliens that are coming here to work under the table for wages because it's better than what they had in Venezuela or, Guatemala or Mexico. Like, how can you blame a guy for that? Like, I totally get that. I mean, he shouldn't be doing it. It's wrong for him to do that. He should get deported for doing it. But it's understandable. And it's also, again, not malicious and bad intentioned. Whereas the people that are hiring them, not only are they hurting their own countrymen, but they're taking advantage of the people that they're falsely trying to say that they're trying to help. It's disgusting.
They know the good and the bad. So the hard part about this is not like a normal war where people wear uniforms. Yeah. They don't wear uniforms. But we have murderers that came out of the last 4 years. We have murderers. We have drug lords. We have people that we don't want to. We have prisoners. They emptied out Venezuela and many countries.
I heard about that.
They emptied out their prisons into the United States. We have to get those people out. But we have stone cold murders. 11,888 murders. We've already gotten a lot of them out of here.
Good.
But we don't want them, so we have to be careful. But I never want to hurt our farmers. Our farmers are great people. They keep us happy and healthy and fat.
Are there other cities that you're going to try to replicate what you've done in Los Angeles?
Well, I mean, we had a big victory last night in the Court of Appeals with respect to Los Angeles, but really the country, where Gavin Newsom, who's really an incompetent governor, he's just...
I mean, I got to agree with Trump on this, bro. Like, whenever Gavin was like, no, this wasn't the picture of Los Angeles on fire in 2025. This was the picture of Los Angeles on fire in 2020. Like, if your cities are constantly getting lit on fire and it looks like you're in a fucking scene of 28 days later, with a bunch of fucking zombies standing around, or The Walking Dead, I feel like you're really not doing your job. Yeah, you're just not. Isn't that super important context, though? I mean, I don't know.
Doing a terrible job between his fires, between all the houses burning down, his forest fires, and
I forgot about
Los
that.
Angeles. If we didn't go
it's
to
like, really, I mean, literally, how is it that this guy has cities on fire every single year? Just take a step back and think about that. One of your cities gets lit on fire every year. It's fucking embarrassing.
Los Angeles, and the sheriff admitted it. He had no control. He would have lost control. We saved Los Angeles by having the military go in. And the second night was much better.
Yep.
The third night was nothing much. And the fourth night, nobody bothered even coming. We put out that fire, and we did a great job of it. He sued us for going in and for helping him. We went and helped him. Right now, you'd have Los Angeles burning to the ground.
True.
Largely, it would have already been destroyed.
Or wouldn't have put up with that?
Your legacy, Mr. President, to be that of a peacemaker? Do you worry that striking Iran would change that?
Always a peacemaker. That doesn't mean sometimes you need some toughness to make peace, but always a peacemaker.
They're bunker busters of peace. What they're busting up is the war. And they're supposed to open up the peace so everybody can be peaceful after we drop all the bombs. It's a tactical peace nuke.
Iran without ground forces?
Say it.
Is an aerial campaign in Iran enough, or do you need ground forces?
Well, I'm not going to talk about ground forces. The last thing you want to do is ground forces.
Does Iran
Thank God. I'm glad he says that. Oh my God, what a relief. Yes, 100%.
have 2 weeks, or could you strike before that?
Yeah.
Are you essentially giving them a 2-week timeline?
I'm giving them a period of time. We're going to see what that period of time is, but I'm giving them a period of time, and I would say 2 weeks would be the maximum.
Mr. President, do you think deportations should focus on criminals or all people who are here illegally?
What a stupid question.
Start focusing on criminals, and that's what we've been focused on. Very bad criminals, dangerous criminals.
But Stephen Miller said to go out and arrest every person who's here illegally. He's told ICE to arrest everyone who's here illegally.
Stephen and I have a very good understanding. He's a terrific person. We have a great understanding.
Mr. President, if there are...
This woman doesn't understand a priority list. Like, yes, obviously the murderers are higher on the priority list, but they're all on the list. Like, it's such a simple concept to understand. Always a Karen to ruin it for everyone. Isn't that a fucking fact? Absolutely.
If there is an attack on U.S. assets, will you promise to conduct a full investigation and make it transparent with the American people?
No, he shouldn't promise that. No.
Before blaming Iran.
What if it was Israel that did it? Then we have to. Then we won't be able to blame it on Iran.
For such an attack?
Well, if there's an attack, we'll know almost immediately with modern equipment who made the attack, and those people will be very, very unhappy.
Prime Minister...
I want to get you people out of danger. You're in danger standing with me.
One more. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that they had the capacity to take out all of Iran's nuclear facilities.
Yeah.
So what role would the U.S. be able to play, and why would they, if Israel says that they have all of the abilities, their own military?
I'm not sure he said that, but they really have a very limited capacity. They can break through a little section, but they can't go down very deep. They don't have that capacity, and we'll have to see what happens. Maybe it won't be necessary. Maybe it won't be necessary.
That would be a best case scenario, by the way, that Israel just solos the entire problem and we just sit there. And after they destroy the bunkers, Trump can take credit for it, and then he can get a Nobel Peace Prize.
See Congress pass a bill that bans child transgender surgeries.
Oh.
Well, I know they're talking about it, aren't they? Huh? We're going to have to see how it comes to me and what
As
form.
he should, of course.
Certainly, it's been
The
something
Trump
I've
Peace
been
Prize?
talking about
Yeah.
also. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean
I
Hannity.
feel like actually that was a really good video. Like all of those questions were great. That was I wish we had more of that. Government of Pakistan, there's the video right there. Government of Pakistan posted on X recommending Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. Oh my God. It's real. I can't believe it. The government of Pakistan recommends President Donald J. Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. The government of Pakistan has decided to formally recommend Donald J. Trump for the 2026 Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of his decisive diplomatic intervention and pivotal leadership during the recent India and Pakistan crisis. In a moment of heightened international turbulence, regional turbulence, President Trump demonstrated great strategic foresight and stellar statesmanship through robust diplomatic engagement, both with Islamabad and New Delhi, which quickly de-escalated a rapidly deteriorating situation, ultimately securing a ceasefire and diverting a broader conflict between the two nuclear states that would have had catastrophic consequences for millions of people in the region beyond. True. And this intervention stands as a testament to his role as a genuine peacemaker and to his commitment to conflict resolution through dialogue. Oh my God. The government of Pakistan also acknowledges and greatly admires President Trump's sincere efforts to help resolve the long-standing dispute between Jammu and Kashmir between India and Pakistan. These are like two areas that it's complicated, but yeah. An issue that lies at the heart of regional instability. During peace in South Asia would remain elusive during the implementation of the United Nations. President Trump's leadership during the 2025 Pakistan-India crisis manifestly showcases the continuation of his legacy of pragmatic diplomacy and effective peacemaking. Pakistan remains hopeful that his honest efforts will continue to contribute towards regional and global stability, particularly in the context of the ongoing crises in the Middle East, including the humanitarian tragedy unfolding in Gaza, true, and the deteriorating escalation involving Iran. Oh my God.